Yo, what's up, everybody? Kevin here. Sorry about the delay. Had some technical difficulties going live for you guys. I'm actually trying a new format today, going live through my computer with a new microphone. So maybe if you guys could let me know in the comments that it sounds okay and that you guys can see me. But yeah, let me know, guys, how it sounds, how it looks. And yeah, stoked to be on here with you guys. Coming to you guys live from Whistler, BC, Canada. And yeah, we've got a beautiful day here. Been inside. I guess this is week 3 or 3.5 of quarantine. And yeah, getting through it. I hope you guys are all staying safe out there, getting through it as well. And yeah, also we've had this past week been having some good times talking to some other snowboard YouTubers. Shout out to Ashley, Snowboard Panda. Shout out to Johnny Snipes. Shout out to Jonathan Buckhouse. Got to talk to all those guys. So that was really, really good times getting to talk to all of them. But yeah, let me know, guys. So everyone's saying it sounds pretty good. Cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments too, guys, like whether you like this setup or the old setup better. So let me know what looks better. But yeah, just going through my laptop today. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let's get started with some shout outs. Thanks Shred1904 for tuning in, Adrius Snow, Mr. Fresh 6, Jay Ribeiro, Highland Cow. Also let me know where you guys are watching from. Catherine Smith, El Stacker, of course. Congrats, El Stacker. You just got his channel monetized. Misfit Snowboarding. And yeah, big shout out to everyone in Europe for staying up late, and big shout out to everyone on the other side of the world for getting up early. And for everyone in North America, it was like the middle of the day. Yeah, Tomer Altman, Rob Gams, what's up, man? We got Canada Ram on here saying Kevin. We got Carrie Pierce. Cat Man Snow says, what's up, everyone? Benjamin, 100 miles per hour films. Border Boys. Awesome. Daniel Z is on here. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. Yeah, stoked to be on here for the next hour to hang out with you guys, to answer all your snowboard questions. If anything's on your mind, definitely hit me up. Maybe I should get a second lake going. That could, maybe next time. But yeah, hit me up with your questions, guys. Kara says that the LA mountains have been getting snow. Yeah, that's such a shame. Yeah, here in Whistler, we haven't got much snow, but it's nice and sunny. Would have been some really good park riding days. So missing out on that. And yeah, people are telling me that it sounds good. Everything sounds good, looks good. Lance is watching from Austin, Texas, wondering my opinion on rear entry bindings, considering getting some to keep up with my skier girlfriend. Yeah, I think rear entry bindings are pretty okay, like the flow bindings. I would say that the one issue with rear entry is that if you always have to be on your toes when you put your foot in. So you always have to be on your knees or on your toes, which isn't always the scenario. Sometimes if you're on a steep slope and you're on your heels, then you want to be able to strap your bindings in like that. Or when the snow is like deep, or if you have some powder snow, then the snow can get into your binding and make it difficult to put your foot in with rear entry. So that's a couple things, but if you don't see yourself getting into those scenarios of like steep terrain or deep snow, then maybe, yeah, give them a try. If convenience is high up there on your list, give them a try, but there's a couple of issues with the rear entry. And we got people watching from all over the world here. We got England, Chicago, Moreno Valley, California, Austria, Colorado, Michigan, New Jersey, Austria. Awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Evan P getting the super chat started off with some support. Thanks, Evan. And Highland Cow says Vans High Standard versus Adidas Samba. Yeah, good question. So so the Vans High Standard, I rode those boots about a year ago now, a year ago at this time, and they're extremely comfortable and a little bit on the softer side. So good for riding the park, good for just like, just for freestyle snowboarding. And yeah, love those boots, comfortable, soft flex. The Adidas Sambas are, you can't quite see them, but they're sort of right back there over my shoulder. They're another boot that's a softer flexing boot and comfortable as well. But I would say for me, the Vans High Standard were more comfortable and more soft, where the Adidas Sambas were a little bit less soft and slightly less comfortable. But yeah, if you're debating between those two boots, I would suggest try them both on and just spend some time in them and see which ones are more comfortable on your feet. And then, yeah, just decide if you want a softer boot, go for the Vans. If you want a little less soft boot, go for the Adidas. And Dandy says, shout out from Scotland. Yeah, shout out to everyone over in Scotland. Yeah, shout out to all the people tuning in who are the moderators as well. You guys are keeping the chat nice and clean and organized. Thank you guys. Oh, El Stacker says, Kevin, what is the beanie you're wearing? Yes, this is Board Archive beanie. So yeah, I thought I would switch it up with the beanies. This was TJ over at Board Archive. So shout out to TJ. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out TJ's channel yet, Board Archive, he's got some awesome beanies as well. All right. And oh, Border Boy says, I was just on a school Zoom and my teacher ragged and left it. So now I'm here. Awesome, man. Yeah. That's cool that you guys can still do school over Zoom and like things like that. And we got Carlos watching from Switzerland and the Shred Ship watching from Oyama. Oh, need some Oyama right now. Yeah, that Oyama ramen. It's so good. Just purchased a 2020 Endeavor archetype for POW. First of this brand. Any thoughts? Awesome, man. Yeah, no, I've never ridden any Endeavor boards, but I've heard great things about Endeavor and the archetype. So I'm sure you're going to love it in powder. Yeah, way to go, man. Yeah, a Canadian company too, based out of Vancouver. I don't think their boards are made in Vancouver, but yeah, their headquarters and everything is in Vancouver. So that's that's cool. You're supporting a Canadian company. That's pretty awesome. And I checked out the Shred Ship's Instagram, and there's kind of like a double meaning to the, or maybe even a triple meaning to the Shred Ship, because I know that it's like friendship, Shred Ship. So that's pretty cool. But then also I saw that you're sort of like a Star Trek, Star Wars fan, or one of those two, or maybe both. And so I feel like that's maybe part of it too, the Shred Ship. I don't know, maybe let me know if that was on your mind when you made that name, but I thought that was, yeah, I saw some funny and cool posts relating to Star Trek and like, I guess some Marvel movies as well. So yeah, that was pretty funny, man. Follow Gaming wants to know, what's your favorite board? Yeah, a couple of favorite boards from this past year. Favorite park board has been the GNU Headspace, and favorite POW board has been the Libtech Orca. But I've been started looking at some new boards for next season, and yeah, there's lots of cool boards coming, lots of cool boards out there at the moment. So I'm stoked to try some different boards and yeah, just see what's out there. But hopefully can get on to some snow fairly soon to get riding again. Adam says, hey, Kevin, remember seeing you and TJ at Hemel Snow Center in the UK a while ago, which was awesome. I've been getting into steeper off-piste terrain. Do you have any tips for managing steep terrain? Yeah, definitely. I think when you're riding on steep terrain, it's like the trick is to really commit to each turn. So the hardest on steep terrain is going from your heels to your toes. And yeah, it's all about creating that turn using your whole body. So fully committing. When you go to make the turn too, like it's a little bit scary, but getting your weight a little bit more onto your front foot. And that way it allows the tail of the board to come around and get onto that new edge, onto the toes. So yeah, just practicing that, practicing taking it slow and fully committing to each turn. On the toe turn, like going from heels to toes as well on like a really steep run. Think about when you do turn, you're going to face your chest to the top of the run. So thinking about fully committing so that you're turning with your whole body so that you end up on your toes with your chest facing the top. And a good tool to use as well is like your backhand. So using your backhand to really help to like pull and get to turn around. So I'd say that's the biggest difficulty people have on steep terrain is like not fully committing. So if you can fully commit, then you're just gonna like, yeah, be able to start getting into that rhythm and flow of riding steep terrain. And shout out to Jay Facili for the super chat sticker. And it's a little like a plum chicken doing a fist bump. Awesome. Thanks for the support. Raul says, hey, Kevin, why do you scrape the wax off after waxing your board? Does the wax you just added disappear? Yeah, so when you wax your snowboard, it's all about the wax absorbing into the base, and that's what's going to make your base fast. You don't want all that excess wax just on top of your base. It's going to slow you down. We actually had a time, we were in Japan a couple years ago, and a friend of ours, maybe on the chat now, Yannick, he waxed his board, and I think this was even my fault. I like recommended that he not take the wax off, like it would just naturally come off while he was riding. And it was a POW day, and the snow just all like stuck to all that leftover wax, and it caused him to fall. And we had to sit on the side of the run and scrape all the wax off of his board. So yeah, you need to wax or scrape all of the wax off after you're done waxing. And what that does is it just creates like a surface with your base with the wax all absorbed into it. And that combination allows your board to slide smoothly across the snow. So yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to scrape it all off and just use the wax that's absorbed into the base. All right, got some nice cream soda, crushed cream soda. I'm definitely getting a little bit stir crazy here in Whistler, not being able to do much, but yeah, getting creative with my day, picking up some cream soda. I think this is the first cream soda I've had in like years. I can't even remember the last time I had a cream soda. Joshua wants to know, are you more of a park rat or a speed demon, Kevin? Nice. I like that question. I like speed demon. I think I'm more, I wouldn't say I'm a park rat because I also like POW riding as well. But excuse me, guys. When it's when it's not a POW day, I do like riding in the park. That's probably the one thing I would want to do besides ride POW is ride in the park, learn tricks. So being outside the park and like carving runs or going fast isn't that like appealing to me. It is fun to do sometimes, but I'd rather just be in the park working on tricks. And even when I am riding down runs, if like I try to get creative with the run too. So I'll be on the side, hitting side hits, maybe doing some butters, finding places to get air or try new tricks. So yeah, I like riding with speed when it comes to POW riding, but not so much just on a run, or if I can get into the park, I would get into the park instead. Tomer says, is there any way to tell what flex bindings are mine, are secondhand? And oh, mine are secondhand and can't find them anywhere online. Yeah, one thing you can do is you can just like, maybe if you go into a shop and you see a few different pairs of bindings that, and you know, like one's a soft flex and one's a stiffer flex, just try flexing those with your hands, like flexing the high back, trying to flex the base, the whole thing, and then compare it to yours. And that should give you a pretty good idea. I know that when I flex my bindings, I can see a big difference just in the high back alone. If I flex the high back of my park binding, my bent metal transfers, they're going to be really soft compared to flexing something like my now drives, which are going to be much stiffer. So yeah, maybe flex a few bindings out there in a shop once the shop's open back up, and then compare it to the bindings you have. All right, just going to scroll down a little bit, get caught up a bit, guys. Alex has a good question. He says, hi, Kevin. When you go off piste, how do you judge if it's safe or not? Thoughts on thought process of things you're looking for. Yeah, good question, man. That's yeah, it's a difficult one because there's so many things that go into it. Yeah, I feel like going to a new, like if when I go to a new place, I try to, like, I probably won't go off piste, like off of runs, unless I can kind of like see where they're leading to, or if I look at a map, or just maybe even talk to some other people, or if I see other people going somewhere. But I've got like a good idea myself of where it's going to lead to, because I always want to make sure I know how to get out. Also, it's good to know, like, get familiar a bit with the runs that you are riding that take you to some off piste, because then if anything does happen, you're able to like call for help if you need to like call somebody for help, or if you're riding with the group and you guys need help, it's a good idea to be somewhat familiar of, you know, it's like, let's say if there's two runs and there's some trees in between and you can see other people riding in those trees, and then you dip into there as well. It's a good idea to know what the runs are on either side, so that you can say like, oh, if anything happens with the group, you know, that you can tell them exactly where you dipped into the trees or went off piste. So it's good to be a bit familiar so that you can, if you need to call for help, you can. And then usually they're, you know, on the mountain, you can kind of see where things lead to, or you start to get an idea. You also see other people have done it. And if you're riding with the crew and you all stick together, I feel like that's a good way to start, good way to do it. The best way is probably to have somebody with local knowledge show you, and hopefully they've done all their, you know, safety stuff, so they know what they're getting into as well. But yeah, just doing some of that. And yeah, it's kind of, it's just tricky because every mountain's different. Every situation's different. Some mountains, like when we go to Japan, the mountains there are very, in Niseko, they're very intermediate. They're very like friendly overall for like riding anywhere that they don't want you to go. They'll have like ropes. So that's like a mountain that's like pretty easy going, where you can dip off into trees or off piste places and it is fairly safe. And then other mountains, one that comes to my mind is Jackson Hole here in the United States, in Wyoming. And Jackson Hole has got a lot of cliffs. It's got a lot of like rock outcrops. It's very steep and technical. So, you know, when you're at those bigger, steeper mountains, then you got to proceed with like more caution because there's more dangers. And then other mountains that are a bit more mellow, you can kind of be a bit more relaxed. So it always depends. So you got to, yeah, just be constantly weighing those things. And I think you just get better at it from the more you ride, the more you can start to judge your own, like judge more of the risk. And then you can start to minimize the risk better yourself. But yeah, good question. Red's Cap says, hit the like button, guys. Thanks, Reggie. Appreciate it, man. So Coach McFly says, "Hey Kev, how does the GNU Headspace compared versus the old Solomon Huck knife you used to ride?" I'd say the Headspace they feel similar. The biggest difference is probably in the magnet traction. So the Headspace has magnet traction, giving it really good holds on ice. I would say that stands out the most to me. There may be a few other small differences, but the biggest difference is the magnet traction. Working class active with the super chat as well. What's up, man? Says, thank you, Kevin, for pushing great content. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it was awesome meeting up down at Bear Mountain, and yeah, keep up your content as well. Appreciate the content you're putting out. So yeah, appreciate you checking it out. Misfits Snowboarding says, what selfie stick / GoPro pole do you use? So the selfie stick I use is, I think the brand is called Smartree, and it's a carbon fiber pole. So I found it on Amazon. So if you go into Amazon and you look up the brand Smartree, and it's a carbon fiber one. They also have some other models, but I always recommend, if you want to do some filming of yourself with the pole, that you go to a one that extends to 40 inches. That's a pretty good, I think 40 inches is a good length. Highland Cow wants to know what sort of iron do you use to apply wax? So the iron I use is it's just like a Burton waxing iron, but there's lots of them out there. Like Dakine has a waxing iron, a few other companies. So I think for like $30, maybe, I can't quite remember how much they are, but maybe about $30, you can get a pretty decent waxing iron. Sebastian says, hi, Kevin, I'm planning a snowboard travel to Canada. Any recommendations? Where to go? Best time of year so it's not too busy and weather-wise. If I were to recommend a time for people to do a snowboard trip, it's you always want to try to avoid all the major holidays. So North American holidays or even like international holidays can be quite busy as well. But sometime like early January, like right after Christmas, I find is a pretty decent time to do a snowboard trip. You know, by like early January, a lot of snow should have filled in, and also it's after all the Christmas crowd has left, so that could be a good time to do a trip. And places to go, yeah, there's lots of places in Canada. Whistler is a good one, but Whistler can also be expensive and busy. But there's some other great spots too in the interior of BC, Revelstoke, and other mountains that are really fun to ride. So yeah, maybe look at a few mountains. There's also an app called the snowforecast.com app. And if you go on the website, you can get more information, but you can go into like weather history for different mountains, and you can actually see when the best week or the best month is to go snowboarding for like snowfall. So last year in August, when we went to Chile, we actually looked up which week got the most snow at the resort that we were going to. And yeah, it was like the first week of August had the most snow. So that's one of the reasons that we picked that week, or those like 2 weeks to go. So yeah, there's some tools out there that can help you decide what's the best week as well. Sorry guys. Autumn Breeze says, what advice would you give to people new to skiing or snowboarding? Yeah, new to snowboarding is just progress at the pace that you enjoy it. So yeah, there's lots of different things that you can do in snowboarding, from learning tricks to learning to carve, to learning switch, to riding powder and through the trees. So just try a bit of each, and then decide which one that you like and want to progress at. and just progress slowly, like progress at the pace that you enjoy. Don't put pressure on yourself to learn too quickly. Because yeah, being fun and staying safe while you're doing it is the most important thing. And I would say getting all the safety gear is really important too. So for a new snowboarder, having a helmet, having wrist guards, and having impact shorts. So something to protect your tailbone with the shorts. All those three things I recommend the most for safety gear, and that'll just yeah, make learning so much easier. All right, we got Jose Bautista on here as well. Shout out Jose, Matthew Smith, Joshua Lambius, Osvaldo. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And Mark Green wants to know any Euro trips planned. Not at the moment, Mark, just because of everything that's happening at this time with the coronavirus and all that kind of stuff. So no trips planned. Can't leave Canada yet. But yeah, it would be great to hit up someplace like Switzerland, maybe Zermatt for some summer park snowboarding. So a place like that, that'd be incredible. I'd love to do that. So we'll see what opens up, but at the moment, nothing planned. Just waiting it out, waiting to get the go ahead to jump on a flight somewhere. All right. Justin says, how can I tell between a tree run and just plain, what does that say? Oh, I lost the question. Justin says, how can I tell between a tree run and just plain old trees that are off limits, don't really have snow at these small East Coast resorts? Yeah, East Coast is a little bit different rules, like because sometimes the forest is so dense and there's lots of shrubs and things and not a lot of snow. So some places, yeah, the trees are off limits, and yeah, you could, get in trouble from the ski patrol or whatever for going in there. So maybe find that out ahead of time. Like if you're going riding on the East Coast, maybe ask somebody, or when you're buying your pass, you can ask, or they may have like a list of rules somewhere for that kind of thing. So check that out first. But from what I remember on the East Coast, sometimes they'll have like dedicated tree runs, which are, trees that they've purposely spaced out, like cut in between and cut down a lot of the brush and stuff like that. So you can ride through there on your snowboard and be fairly safe. Where some of the tree run, like forest runs, are just too thick and not enough snow for tree riding. So yeah, you just have to like look and see what the rules are for your local resort. And we got a super chat from the Shred Ship. Awesome. Thanks for the support. It says, support Cream Soda Fund. To answer you, the Shred Ship is culmination of the best things coming together: friendship and snowboarding, surfing, skateboarding. Okay, awesome, man. I knew it was that one, but I wasn't sure if it was also a connection to just the ships from Star Trek or Star Wars, because yeah, I saw that some Instagram photos, and but yeah, it's an awesome motto. That's what snowboarding is all about: being out riding with your friends, having a good time. Border Boys says, Kevin, you should come to New Zealand this year. What do you recommend for park bindings, the bent metal transfers, or the bent metal logics? Good question. So I haven't had the chance to ride the bent metal logics, but the bent metal transfer, they're like a softer park binding. So I've really enjoyed riding those. But yeah, maybe check out the stiffness rating on the logics. But that's a good question. I don't know how stiff the logics are, but yeah, look into that. If you like your park bindings on the softer side, and if the logics are softer as well, maybe give those a try. Daily MTB says, will you ever come to Minnesota to shred with Jonathan Buckhouse? Yeah, well, I've shredded with Jonathan Buckhouse a few times in Colorado, but yeah, it'd be fun to check out Minnesota sometime. I've never been to Minnesota. I've heard people have told me that Minnesota is kind of like very similar to Canada. Yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to go check it out, and maybe a trip with Jonathan too. Wes Hart says, bro, nice meeting you at Bear before the lockdown. Yeah, yeah, awesome meeting you too, man. And yeah, the lockdown, yeah, we just got that in just before the whole lockdown thing happened. And we got Ty Gallo with the super chat from Australia. What's up, Ty? Says, what wax do you use on your board when it's stored and you're not using it? Just a cheap one, or do you use a wax you would need when you ride it again? Yeah, I think you can just put on, like, I wouldn't try to go out of your way to buy like a really cheap wax to wax your board with while it's in storage. Yeah, just wax it with whatever wax you either have or the wax that you plan on using the next season, because yeah, if you wax your board now, you can leave the wax on there and then scrape it off before the next time you go snowboarding. So if you use good wax, then you'll get the benefits of using the good wax on your first day back on your board. And then the brands, I've had like a few different brands of wax. I think I've used the Dakine wax mostly. So that's the wax I use the most, Dakine. And I also use a wax that's like a local wax to Vancouver, I believe is called Beaver Wax. So yeah, check out those ones, Dakine or Beaver Wax, and get the temperature of wax of whatever temperature, you know, you're gonna have to guess, but whatever temperature you would guess is gonna be your next day back riding, whether that's the opening day or if you're riding at some other time, or whatever the like average temperature is of the resort that you ride, try to get the wax temperature for that. Peter says, Kevin, what happened to that cool looking Volcom L jacket? You should probably bring it back next season. Yeah, that Volcom jacket was cool. It was like, yeah, crazy multicolors with the purple and black and pink and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, where is that jacket? It's around somewhere. I've moved twice this winter, so all my stuff is in boxes. But yeah, it'd be fun to rip on that jacket again. It's pretty crazy. And Jack Ripper with the super chat and just saying, you. Thanks, Jack, man. Appreciate the support. Daily MTB says, I went to an abandoned ski resort a few days ago and it was insane and awesome. I got one last ride in. Oh, very cool, man. The last ride of the season. Somebody is asking what websites have good sales on at the moment. Yeah, a lot of places have good sales. I know locally here in Whistler, the Circle on their website, they've got some sales going, and also like all below every video of mine in the description, there's links to my gear to evo.com in the States. And I know they have a lot of good sales happening as well. So yeah, good time to pick up stuff on sale if you guys need any gear. And as Valdo saying, they should make season passes less expensive for next season since they closed early this season. Only fair, don't you guys think? Yeah, that seems pretty fair. Like, yeah, they closed it down a couple months early, so they could, yeah, give us a month or two back, or a discounted rate. Yeah, I think that'd be fair. Because, yeah, like my wife, Jill, she had a pass and she loves riding in the spring, and obviously there's no spring riding. And so she didn't get to use her pass for a couple months. I'm sure they'll do something like that. So if you had like a pass this season, you can show them your pass and then get like a 20% discount or 30% discount. I think that'd be fair. D watching from the Ukraine. Shout out. Thanks for watching. Tomer, thanks for tuning in. We got Austin B tuning in as well. All right. Okay. The Jack Ripper says the icon renewal is discounted to $200 now. Wow. If that's true, I got to jump on that. Oh, wow. That's a good deal. That can't be right. $200, Jack Ripper. Are you sure, man? Oh, $200 off. Okay, I get it. Matthew Smith, what's your favorite place in New Zealand to board at? So my favorite place has been Cardrona. You'll love the park there. Love the whole thing, the vibes, the people, the drive from the town Wanaka. So the drive from Wanaka to Cardrona, all those things are really fun and cool. But yeah, New Zealand has a lot of great resorts. Haven't had the chance to explore all of them. So I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot of good places too. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to New Zealand for like late August, early September and stay for a month or so. That'd be super fun. Lou Moon wants to know edge or flat preferred for slopes for you. So when I'm riding, I'm definitely staying on an edge like quite a lot. So a lot of riding on my edge. Being on your edge just gives you more control. So even if you're just riding straight, you can be completely flat based, but your edges are what's going to give you control. So being a little bit on an edge helps as well. And yeah, just going back and forth between the toe and the heel. But yeah, edges is what gives you your control. Completely flat based, you can the board can kind of slide a little bit on you and it's less predictable. Oh no, Daniel Z says, any tips for dealing with pressure points? Just got a pair of Team 2s. The foot pain is no joke. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Daniel Z, you should have listened to my videos, man. I had the exact same problem with the Team 2s. Crazy pressure points all over different parts of my feet. And even had other friends try to wear them to break them in for me. And they had the same problems with pressure points all over their feet. I remember, the Team 2s, it's like my Achilles heel actually was like injured because of the weird pressure points in the Team 2s. Also down the outside of my foot, I was getting crazy pressure points, and then all across the front of my toes. Those boots were like, for me, they were like nasty on my feet. My friend Bo down in Colorado, he had the same experience with the Team 2s, just like destroyed his feet. I'm sorry to hear that. If they maybe you can take them back if you haven't worn them snowboarding yet. But yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. And we've got Muka Hit watching from Turkey. Shout out to everyone in Turkey. Thanks for tuning in, man. Lance wants to know, what's your favorite Colorado resort? Probably Keystone. I've spent the most time riding at Keystone, so I guess I know that mountain the best. And great tree riding, really fun parks, and lots to explore. So Keystone is probably my favorite. Yeah, I miss Colorado. Really fun really fun riding down there. Connor wants to know favorite boots under $250. My favorite boots under $250 are probably the Vans. Oh, I've been talking about them the whole time. The Vans High Standards. No, High Standards. Yeah, the Vans High Standards. So yeah, check out the Vans High Standard Pros, and I think they're under 250. Maybe check those out. And we got Colin watching from Melbourne, Australia. Arnaud watching from Belgium. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Snowboard Al's on here. What's up, Snowboard Al? Sam says, shout out from Camp AJ. Shout out from Camp AJ Kuwait. Hey, Kev, would the Libtech TRS HP be considered a good dad board? And what bindings, union bindings would you suggest? Yeah, it kind of depends. So yeah, the Libtech TRS HP, that's like yeah, it's a fun board for ripping around. You can definitely do like a bit of everything with that board. So a good all-rounder. You can take it into the park if you want to. You can just ride the slopes. You can take it into powder. So it does everything pretty well. And yeah, I would go for a board like that. If you want something that's going to be more for riding fast, maybe check out something like the Now Drives. So something that's like stable and stiff if you're into more like speed and control and for like riding the whole mountain. And if you want something that's softer on that board for riding, maybe checking out some tricks and some butters, then maybe check out something like the Union Stratas. The Union Stratas are more of like a mid flex. So yeah, maybe put some Union Stratas on that board, and you can do a bit of everything with it. So yeah, good call. And yeah, shout out to Sam and Camp AJ Kuwait. Thanks for tuning in, man. That's awesome. And Joe Kim says battalion whatever or Capita horoscope for fun. Yeah, both those boards are fun. I haven't ridden the battalion whatever, but the Capita horoscope, really fun board. Just predictable, easy to flex. It's got some pop in it. It's not too expensive. So yeah, either one. I'd probably go for the Capita horoscope personally, but yeah, battalion whatever I'm sure is good as well. And Care with the super chat, $2.99. Thanks for the support, Care. Appreciate it. Arnaud says, is there a way to get more control on boxes or just some tips? Yeah, there is a way to get more control on boxes. I would say the approach is really important. So not taking a lot of like big turns up to a box, trying to keep it like fairly controlled on your approach. So doing like quick turns from edge to edge so that you're lined up with the box on the approach. That's like one way to just feel like you have more control. Being stacked over your board. So like having your knees bent, but also like your center of gravity or like your weight really centered on top of your board. So not like being bent over too much and not being too straight up, just like knees bent, relaxed body position with your like, yeah, your weight centered over your board. That gives you control for sliding. And also like a little bit of speed. So if you come on really slow, it's going to make it harder to slide smoothly across. So coming in with a little bit of speed also helps you to slide that much more smooth. But yeah, lining it up, some quick speed checks on the approach, having a little bit of speed and just being balanced and comfortable over your board. All those will help. A good way to practice all that stuff is to just practice it on the slope outside of the park first. So you could just like imagine that there's a flat box somewhere ahead of you on the snow, and do all the things that you would do normally on your approach to a box, and then just riding with your board flat on the snow for those 2 or 3 seconds. And yeah, even pretending coming off of that box and doing the speed checks. So all those things will help you give you more confidence and make you feel more stable. All right, round 2 on the cream soda. Awesome. So Lance Martin with the super chat and just saying thank you with the bowing plum chicken. Awesome. Thank you, Lance. Appreciate the support, man. L Stacker asking, Care, have you seen Ozarks, the TV show? I've seen that show. Yeah, that's a good one. I was actually watching it last night. Finished season 3. Super fun show. Vadim wants to know, come to Stevens Pass again next season. Yeah, I would love to get back to Stevens Pass. It was so much fun meeting people down there, meeting people from Seattle and the whole area, and also some of the people that worked at Stevens Pass. It was like a blast. So definitely want to get down there again. It was so fun. El Stacker wants to know, Kevin, when is Jill going to go live with you? Yeah, maybe I'll get her to come in live at some point soon, maybe in an upcoming live chat. That's a good idea. And the Shred Ship, cream soda fund needs funding. Yeah, man. More cream sodas. The Shred Ship says, take my stimulus. Thank you, man. Justin Joe says, your videos have gotten me into snowboarding. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's amazing. That's the goal. So I'm stoked that they've helped you get into it. I hope, yeah, you keep going, keep progressing, and I'll keep the videos coming too. And Snowboard Al saying, can't wait for you and TJ to start ripping it and vlogging again, Kev. Yeah, same. I can't wait to get back on a board. It's going to be so fun. I feel like once life starts going back to normal and things start opening up, people are going to be, yeah, super excited, going hard, having fun. So yeah, I can't wait. And Tomer wants to know, are secondhand boots a viable option? They are a option, but I would say it's like of all the gear that you want to possibly buy brand new, I would say boots are probably number 1. Because, then they're shaping to your feet. You can try on a bunch of different boots and find the ones that are the most comfortable on your feet. And yeah, you don't know how somebody's taking care of boots before you too. So they could have, let their feet get all wet in those boots and just sit around and get all funky. So I would say that if you can swing it, then boots are the one thing that you may want to look into buying new. And shout out to El Stacker and Jose Bortisa, all for helping out with the questions and the chat. You guys are killing it. The Shred Ship wants to know, has any major brand approached you about a collaboration / sponsorship? If you had a choice, would you like to work with who would you like to work with and why, gear-wise? Oh, that's a good question. No, there's been some like casual approaches for not even sponsorship, but just collaboration. But it's always been very casual, like maybe, like somebody wants to send a free jacket or a free board or something. Mostly outerwear. And to be honest, I almost prefer just not having a sponsor or not collaborating, because then I'm really free to like get the gear I want, ride the boards I want, and give you guys like the most honest feedback that I can about the stuff I ride. So as soon as people start sending me free stuff and like say paying me to ride their gear, then it could become like a conflict of interest, where then it's like hard for me to give you guys my honest opinion. So back in the day, I did have I guess a sponsorship deal worked out with Skull Candy headphones. And that was a bit different because headphones are not really, a part of snowboarding. So them paying me to ride their headphones and kind of promote them was totally separate from snowboarding. So probably the best sponsorship would be something that's outside of snowboarding, and maybe like a product or a company that I liked. If a company like that approached me and we're like, oh, we want to fund your snowboard trips and we want to help you buy gear and like have help you with the equipment that you need to make the videos, that would be really cool. But it's probably better that there's no snow. I stay out of the snowboard, like the snowboard side of sponsorships, because then it's like I can't give you guys my honest opinions. But yeah, I guess like something like a car sponsorship would be really cool. If like, I don't know, some cool car company wanted to sponsor me, or like an airline, maybe a hotel chain. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. So yeah, if anyone knows any airlines, or yeah, maybe British Airways or something can sponsor me, and maybe Japan Airlines, so I can just fly to Japan whenever I want. That would be cool. Maybe if like Honda or Toyota or somebody wants to sponsor me and give me like a nice car to drive around to all the resorts, stuff like that would be fun. But yeah, no luck yet. Ooh, El Stacker is saying Janice Spiteri is doing a live chat in 1 hour. Okay, cool. I thought El Stacker, she's not doing it now. Is she doing it now or in 1 hour? For some reason, I thought it was at 4. If Janice is going live now, I might hop off so that everyone can go check out Janice's live chat. But if you're saying it's in an hour, then there's no rush. But yeah, the shred ship, awesome question, man. Yeah, sponsorship is tricky. It's funny business. Jay Garisic 07 says, was able to find a Capita DOA magically, and it arrived a day ago. Obviously won't be able to ride it. So does it need a wax to store over the off season? It's probably fine for storing, but I would probably wax it anyway, because I think board companies are maybe not putting as much actually, I'm not really certain, but I would say I would probably wax it, just because, nothing bad can happen from waxing it, but it can, protect your base until you get to ride it. And then when you do ride it, you're going to have, a fresh wax all ready to go, and protecting your new board. So yeah, I'd wax it for sure. That'd be a good idea. And yeah, stoked that you got the Capita DOA. That's awesome. Oh, Sebastian says you should get a GoPro sponsorship. Yeah, GoPro, that'd be cool. Because yeah, it's a product I use already, and it's still separate from snowboarding. And yeah, I like GoPro. Yeah, GoPro, hit me up. Yeah, that'd be a nice one. All right. Um, Christopher Matthews saying, time to move to Canmore or Banff, Kevin. 8 different resorts within a 300-kilometer radius and only 140 kilometers to Calgary International Airport for your trips. Ooh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that's an option. Canmore or Banff. All right, I'll look into it. I've never been to Calgary, so it'd be cool to check out Calgary as well. And C asks Kevin, for aggressive carving, would you suggest Atlas or Force? I heard Atlas has a pretty mellow high back. I think the Forces, I would go Forces, or sorry, not the Forces. Atlas, the Atlas are stiffer and a more aggressive binding. So for aggressive carving, I'd recommend an aggressive binding like the Atlas for sure. And Hurst, have you ever ridden Powder Mountain in Utah? Would love to see a video on it. No, I've never been to Utah, so I'll have to head down there as well. The Cronemans says, you taught me how to snowboard this season and picked it up super quick. Awesome to hear. All right. Rob Gam says, Kevin, is TJ still making content? Haven't seen him post anything or do a live chat. I think TJ is just taking a bit of a break, but I think TJ, he'll be back. Yeah, watch out for TJ. He'll be back making content, I'm sure, soon. Once the snowboarding gets open back up and we're out riding, I'm sure TJ will be back making some content. Raul says, what type of bindings do you recommend for free riding? Stiff, I guess. Not necessarily. Like the stiffer the binding, I feel like that's the more aggressive your riding is, the stiffer to go. But if you just like to free ride and take it pretty, if you're intermediate snowboarder and you like free riding and you're not riding super aggressively, then sort of a mid-flex binding is good for free riding as well. Sometimes if you go too stiff, then your board becomes too reactive and like too like almost like, yeah, it's like overreacting. It's like too quick. And, you go to put your board on edge and it just like goes onto the edge super hard. And with really stiff, aggressive bindings, it can be almost too aggressive if your riding style is more intermediate and maybe like even more mellow. So I would say for most people, just like a more mid-flex binding is better, even for free riding. But yeah, if you're somebody that rides aggressively, you're riding with speed, then a stiffer binding will do. Awesome. Arnaud is off to bed. He says it's 1 a.m. in Belgium. Well, yeah, shout out to everyone in Europe for staying up for the live chat. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I might end the live chat here. Just been on here for about an hour, but yeah, super stoked to come on here, talk to you guys, hang out. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and yeah, getting up to some things if you're like at home in quarantine. I hope you guys are like getting up to some stuff to keep you busy. Yeah, and if you get the chance, a good thing to do too is maybe reach out to some of your fellow snowboard friends on FaceTime or a call and check in on each other, see how everyone's doing. But yeah, it was good to be on here talking to all you guys. And yeah, hope you guys, yeah, just are staying safe out there and getting through this all together. But yeah, thank you guys for being on the live chat. Have a great weekend, guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one on here soon. Later, everyone.